Bernadette here with Frank 151, and we are joined here with Desto Dubb. This past week, there was a banning on his brand. That's an awful lot of cough syrup. Desto, how are you?
I'm beautiful. How you doing?
Good. So tell us a little about, what went down.
Basically, these are the growing pains of having a successful business. My clothing line is doing pretty well, especially like in the area where we're at. It's kind of like Hollywood, North Hollywood, Beverly Hills. And a lot of the kids migrate to here to buy the clothes. Recently I've got an email from one of the kids that shops here at my clothing store, and it was a message sent out from his school, basically just saying to the kids and to the parents that they don't condone clothing lines that support or kind of give the kids the impression that we're telling them to do drugs.
What do you think that is?
It's taking immediate effect to where they don't want cough syrup worn at the school. So now we're here. And ever since I've kind of on my social media, told my social media about the message, other people have been reaching out like, yeah, my school won't let me wear it here. My school won't let me wear it here. Or other parents are like, yeah, they called me and said he can't wear that to school anymore.
You've been doing philanthropy work. You're a father, entrepreneur, and motivating people like artistically freedom of speech, right?
Yeah.
So in regards to that, do you kind of understand where it's coming from? Again, it is called that's an awful lot of cough syrup, right?
Yes.
But at the same time, I know that the backstory to that, it's not, like you said, promoting drugs or alcohol or anything. It was more of an inside joke of a backstory of something that had happened.
Yeah, so it's called what it is because it was a situation in my life that happened to me, And I'm a firm believer of taking a negative and turning it into positive. I do understand why the principal or whatever head supervisor at the top would imply that, but being somebody of a higher level of thinking or a higher level of learning, you ask questions, Hey, what does this mean? Who makes this? What does it stand for? Before you make a judgment. If everybody looked at something and made a judgment off of what they think it is, that's what's going on right now. So it's like, why would you guys do that? Especially if you're some kind of principal, teacher, supervisor, superintendent, whatever you are. Do a little background search or do a little research, ask a few more questions, and then you understand where it come from and where it's going and what it actually stands for. I feel like the phrase is a small part of the brand. It's just one phrase. Nike has plenty of phrases, 10 different T-shirts. It's one phrase. That's a small part of the brand that honestly, it draws the attention of the younger crowd. But when it draws the attention, what do they see? A self-made person from poverty that came from nothing, who's just trying to show these kids that you don't have to be an athlete, a rapper, do illegal things to make money, and you can still live that lifestyle. So that's really my message. And, I'm busy and I work a lot, but I would love to just talk to these people and let them know my point or where I come from and what do my brand and what do I push and what am I putting out there? Because me telling kids to drink cough syrup is not what I'm doing. Cough syrup, the word cough syrup was just, something that's kind of everybody knows, but it's just the thing. Everybody has a cough syrup. Everybody has an awful lot of dreams. Everybody has an awful lot of horsepower. What is your thing? And, we kind of just grow off of that.
If someone has a cold, that is an awful lot of cough syrup that someone's going to be drinking, right? Just like music, everything has a metaphor. It doesn't always have to be directly what it is. And what is a message that you would want to tell the school district in regards to what they've done with the banning of your company?
Let's work together. Let's just work together. I'm not mad at y'all. I'm not upset. What y'all think my intentions are not my intentions. I'm here to uplift the youth. I believe in them a lot, probably more than most people do, because I was a young adolescent person that was doing very bad. And most of the time when you're doing very bad, you don't think it get better. Now, maybe people at Beverly Hills don't understand this, or maybe people over this area don't understand that, but it's a lot of people out there that affect, and I use my influence positively, you know, to show them something. I could show you DMs right now. It's like, oh, if it wasn't for clothes or looking at you and seeing you can do it, I would never believe it.
Even with your philanthropy work, working with SEAM, and just showing other, you know, small business owners support is a great influence, and it's because of your brand that I feel like has been, you know, really helpful with the community. You know,
Sure.
Let's just kind of go back and discuss a little about where the clothing company came from.
Basically, I was never able to afford the clothes that I like, or what my parents weren't. So at a very early age, like middle school, I was making stuff that I couldn't afford. So if it was rips in the jeans, I'll make my own rips. If it was a certain look, I'll get the cheaper version and try to, you know, make it myself. When I was growing up, it was a brand called Mesquite where they would paint clothes. I would go and paint clothes myself because I couldn't afford it. So that's basically where the clothing line came from. And it just took a minute for me to get like a, you know, with clothing lines, you have to have a name, a catchphrase, and you just got to have some kind of it factor. So me just working and working, it took me a minute to come up with my name, my catchphrase, my it factor. But once I found it, it was like, okay, now I'm actually making something. What do I want to be perceived as? Just a person that makes money, just a person that makes clothes, or let me just use my influence a positive way and try to get these kids to start their own clothing line.
Yeah. And what do you think in regards to like whether or not they will compromise? What is your solution to it? What's your hopes with it? Allowing the kids to just wear the clothes, or what do you think would be a great solution?
I'm 1000% against going against the school. You know, I don't want to get no kids in trouble. If your school say don't wear it, don't wear it.
Mm-hmm.
Follow the rules.
Yeah.
You know, but it's crazy because they'll say, oh, you can't wear this, but I have other shirts that don't say cough syrup that they can wear. So it's like, and maybe I just try to, this just let me know how the school perceives me, and it just makes me want to work harder for my presence or just my name to be like, once they hear it, they don't think like, you see Mayweather, you don't think fight and knock you out. You think a businessman, a billionaire. You never see Mayweather or anything that Mayweather and think that he's influencing fighting. It's just his job. He influences wealth. He influences higher things, you know? So I guess I just got to work harder to where they're not judging a book by its cover.
And just like with your brand, there's an art, and it's definitely, you know, a business to inspire rather than, you know, you're not trying to wreak havoc or anything like that. Yeah. What's your next step in what you will do with the brand? Do you think it will affect what you do, or are you going to continue on with kind of doing what you do and continue?
I'm gonna keep on the same path I've been on, and I just, you know, just aware of these situations. It's information. You know, some schools don't like it. Some higher level schools do not like it. So let's change the narrative. Secondly, let's talk to these kids. And, you know, I would love to go to the school and tell the kids, hey, if y'all principal or whoever don't want y'all to wear it, don't wear it.
Mm-hmm.
Other stuff out there y'all can wear. Don't be defiant, don't be rebellious. But at the end of the day, just remember, this is what's gonna happen when you're coming up. It's always gonna be some obstacle. And it's how you deal with it.
Exactly. And if anyone wants to reach out to you,
the bottom of my website, you can email us, you can come to any one of my retail stores, you can hit my Instagram. Most of my social medias I check, my clothing store, Instagram, we check. Just send a message, we'll get it.
Okay. And any last words that you'd like to?
Hey kids, stay in school. Bottom line, stay in school, don't do drugs. That's an awful lot of homework, you know. Let's change the narrative.
Well, thank you so much, Desto Dubb, and we look forward to seeing what you do next. And thank you again.
No, thank you again. Appreciate it. I'm always looking forward to these.